Islanders, their head coach is Kayla Ewan. They will start at a guard, a 5'8 junior, Jamie Maunger, a 5'11 senior, Rachel Tessum, Jessica Blakesley, a 5'8 sophomore, Julia Blumenstein, a 5'7 junior, and Renee Tessum, a 6'1 senior. So Renee Tessum, Julia Blumenstein, Jessica Blakesley, Rachel Tessum, and Jamie Munger are the starters for the Mercer Island Islanders. For the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, they will start Taylor Baird, a 6'1 senior. Sadie Mensing has not played in the district tournament. She was not on the team for a while. She is going to start tonight, a 5'10 junior. Sarah Smith, a 5'6 senior. Sawyer Manning, a 5'8 senior. And Nicole Fauci, a 6'4 senior. Nicole Fauci, Sawyer Manning, Sarah Smith, Sadie Mensing, and Taylor Baird. And Jeannie Boyer, you're talking about the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. When the coach, Brian Hill, you kind of especially singled out Sarah Smith.
Yeah, Sarah Smith is a tremendous player, and she has the way to control the basketball game. As a point guard, she's experienced. She has a good head. She plays great defense. I look for her to really challenge Jess Blakely from Mercer Island tonight.
Glacier Peak comes in at 22-2. The Mercer Island Islanders at 15-10. On the road here to the Tacoma Dome, which passes through Everett Community College in the 3A Girls Northwest District Tournament. In the first round, Glacier Peak defeated Marysville-Pilchuck 48-37. Then they took out Ferndale 55-43 in the semifinals. And in the district final, they beat Mount Lake Terrace 53-52. So, Ginny, let's talk about that. 2 games 3 weeks ago, 1 game last week, 1 game this week. You go from a really compacted schedule during the regular season, suddenly you sit around for a week. It's got to be tough.
It's really tough. As a coach, you want the kids to stay focused, but at the same time, I mean, it's so many practice days after game after game. The attention span can drift really easy.
On the other hand, Mercer Island, they've played 6 district games. In fact, they had a bye in the first round. They could have conceivably played 7 district games, a league tournament, and then into their district tournament.
Well, on the flip side of that, it's obviously they should be really tuned into the actual game itself, but bodies can be a lot more tired. So Glacier Peak, you would expect to have fresher legs tonight.
So what, is 2 games a week perfect for high school?
I enjoyed 2 games a week. I mean, the practices, you can fine-tune for what you need to the next day. The kids get into a rhythm. They know what to expect. Whenever you change that up, it does alter your game plan.
So coming into this game in the Kinko League tournament, Mercer Island beat Mount Si in the first round 68-47 and beat Liberty 38-27. And the league championship lost to Bellevue 49-37. In the Sea King District tournament, they got a bye in the first round. They beat West Seattle 52-49. Lost to Cleveland, hasn't everybody, 57-31. And then lost to Bishop Blanchette 57-51. Today's opening tip-off and game action coming up next. It's Glacier Peak, Mercer Island on Fox Sports 1380. Okay. What? Wow. This may be a world's record. I've heard the anthem 3 times today. And we welcome you back live to the Everett Community College Student Fitness Center. We're getting set for today's opening tip-off and game action. The Mercer Island Islanders and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. The officials, Ron Van Soos, Kevin Stride, and Will Nichols, they actually worked the first game of 3 here at Everett Community College earlier today. So set to go. A couple of scores before they throw the ball into the air. 1A boys, Zilla beat Riverside 67-58. 4A boys, Gonzaga Prep 87, South Kitsap 69. 4A boys, Beamer over Bothell. That's a surprise, 77-41. 2B girls, LaConner 51, Napavine 46. That was earlier the previous game here. 4A boys, Beamer over Bothell. We gave you that one. 4A girls, Moses Lake over Kentridge 61-40. And we are underway here. The ball is going to be controlled by Glacier Peak, and they move to our right. And here we go. Top of the keys, they swing it over to the right-hand side. Taylor Baird with it, dribble drive into the paint, puts it up with the left hand, no good. Knocked out of bounds, though. Last touch at the baseline by Nicole Fauci, out of bounds. Turn it right back over to the Mercer Island Islanders. Their first time to touch the basketball.
Mercer Island did a good job keeping Fauci off the boards on that initial rebound.
So Mercer Island up the floor, ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch, though, by Sarah Smith on the quick hand, so it'll still be Mercer Island ball. Mercer Island, they're very familiar, very dark maroon uniforms. We saw the Mercer Island boys team for years and years and years, and add a few more years onto that every year in the state tournament. But the girls will have to carry the flag now. Their boys team lost earlier. Here's a turnaround jumper on the way up, no good for the Islanders. That was taken there by Jessica Blakesley, and then the ball was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Blakesley, so it'll be given right back over to the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Yet to dent the scoreboard, either team were 30 seconds in.
The matchup today between Smith and Blakesley could be key to whichever team's going to pull off this victory.
Over to the left-hand side, that's Sawyer Manning. They go across the key over to the right side now. Sarah Smith looking down low. Here's a jumper from the foul line. It's going to be no good by Taylor Baird. Battle for the rebound, won by Mercer Island. Taken down by the Islanders, and here they come out of backcourt. Calling the play with the left hand to the top of the key is the point guard, Julia Blumenstein. They swing a pass over to the right-hand side, and the problem is it was picked off by Glacier Peak. Grizzly basketball, back the other way we go. Over to the right-hand side, Sadie Mensing, first time she's touched the basketball here in the playoffs. Didn't play the first 3 games in the district tournament. Back to the basket out on top of the key. Now they'll swing the perimeter left-hand side. Sarah Smith with it. Looking to the baseline. That was closed off. 11 on the shot clock. Dribble drive in. Way too far underneath was the first shot. Nicole Fauci will get through, pick up the garbage, and put it up and in and give the Glacier Peak Grizzlies the 2-point lead off the miss by Manning and the bucket by Fauci.
Manning did a really good job of sealing to the inside. I expect her to finish those lay-ins as the game progresses.
Here we go. Mercer Island with the basketball, now down by 2 to Glacier Peak. Loser is out. The winner will advance to the Tacoma Dome next week. They have a top of the key. 3-ball on the way. Deep in the well. It comes out. No good. That one taken by Jamie Munger, and it's going to be controlled by Glacier Peak Grizzlies out of backcourt. Moving to our right in their home white uniforms, trimmed in silver and dark blue. They go down low for a shot by Baird. Missed it, no good, but the putback is up and good by Fauci. She's got all 4 of the points for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. They lead it 4-0 over Mercer Island.
That was a very athletic play by a post player on the inside to be able to scoop up and underneath the basket.
Islanders with the basketball. They feed it down low. Little backdoor lob feed, waiting for the defender to go by. Nice play there. Rachel Tessum did what lots of players, boys or girls, don't do. You wait for the defender to go by. They'll fly by you. You get an easy lay-in.
That was a great head fake and good patience in the key and to keep her footing.
Glacier Peak basketball now, leading a 4-2, 5:23 to go. Opening quarter at Everett Community College. Tom Lafferty with Jeannie Boyer. Thanks for being with us here on this Saturday. No Everett Silver Tips tonight. Ball nearly stolen away. Find that it is stolen away. It'll be a bad pass and picked off by Mercer Island. Islanders out of backcourt. Munger brings it to the top of the key. Feed it right side. Open 3 on the way. Won't go. No good. Jessica Blakesley. Rebound controlled by the Grizzlies. Here comes Glacier Peak out of backcourt. Leading at 4-2. We're 3 minutes into the ball game. Dribble drive along the right-hand side.
So far, Fauci is cleaning up on the glass and really dominating on the inside.
Little step through move there by Taylor Baird. She stepped through and kind of came up short with a lay-in. That's because somebody had a hold of her arm, and she's going to have to earn them at the free throw line. The foul is going to be called here on Tessum. Rachel Tessum with the first personal foul and the first team foul, and Taylor Baird with the first free throws of the ball game. This one's too long, no good.
They're making an early sub here, subbing Tessum out of the game. That could be big with Fauci on the inside.
So next one, for Baird here in just a moment. She gets the basketball and ready to go. It's on the way, and it is up and good. And it's a 5-2 lead for Glacier Peak here at Everett Community College. Again, loser out, winner advances to the round of 8 on the Thursday at the Tacoma Dome. The opponents to be decided tomorrow at the WIAA headquarters in Renton. Dribble drive along the right-hand side. Jessica Blakesley had it, got rid of it, almost lost it, got it into the hands of Luce. She puts it up, misses it, then a foul called on the ensuing rebound. It's going to be Glacier Peak basketball. The foul trying to grab the rebound is going to be on Blakesley. That's her first personal foul for the Islanders' second team.
Sarah Smith really initiated that play. So far, Glacier Peak has had really good help side. They're doubling down on Blakesley, and Sarah Smith made a tremendous play for her team on that possession.
Coach Brian Hill will go to the bench and put in a substitute. So both teams have kind of substituted here early on. We're not quite halfway through the first quarter of action. Right-hand side, Taylor Baird. To the top of the key they go, playing a little weave action here. Sarah Smith with it, now on the left-hand baseline going in. Baird, scoop lay-in, no good. Tried for a tap-up, that's not going to go as well. Another battle, another putback, it's up and good for Nicole Fauci.
She's definitely carrying the load right now for Glacier Peak.
She's got 6 of the 7 points scored by the Grizzlies, and it's a 5-point lead, biggest lead of the early going here for Glacier Peak. Pull-up jumper from 16 feet away, it's up, and it's good for Jessica Blakesley.
Well, she's going to need to keep doing that for Mercer Island to stay in this ball game.
7-4 lead for Glacier Peak. 3:40 to go, opening quarter. They have it moving to our right. They're the home team tonight. Dribble drive along the right-hand side. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by Mercer Island. And so retaining possession will be Glacier Peak in their front court to our right with 17 on the shot clock. Looking to throw it in at the baseline. That's Natalie Rasmussen in at the point guard spot now. Still at the baseline. Finally gets it in at about 4.5 seconds. Taylor Baird, and then she feeds it down low, left-hand side, give Baird the assist, and into the hands of Sadie Mensing for her first 2 points of the playoffs, and it's a 9-4 lead. A 5-point lead for Glacier Peak. Mercer Island out of the Kinko League with the basketball, and then, well, a Glacier Peak player ran into a Mercer Island player, and then 2 Glacier Peak players and 2 Mercer Island players ran into each other. But I think they're going to get the first one I said. It's going to be the little push foul there. And it's going to be whistled here on Rasmussen, her first personal foul, first team foul.
Well, the physical play on the outside is definitely in Glacier Peak's favor. And if Mercer Island can work the ball inside, they're going to have a better chance to score.
Islanders on the inbounds. Fresh 35 on the shot clock. Top of the key is Taylor Krause. Looks left, goes right with the pass to Munger, back to Krause, and now it goes to Suri Johnson. Hello, Suri. Here's a turnaround jumper on the way. It's going to be no good by Anna Luce. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by a Grizzly. The Islanders will retain possession.
They attacked the basket well in that possession. If they can keep doing that, they might get Glacier Peak in foul trouble.
See if they can score off the inbounds here. At the baseline, throwing it in will be Blakesley. She throws it in way out topside. Ball's going to be knocked out of bounds. Some quick hands there on the defense by Sadie Mensing. Ball goes out of bounds, so it'll be still Mercer Island basketball. Just 1 second went off the clock and the shot clock, and they'll inbound it easily this time at the half-court stripe. Mercer Island in their dark maroon uniforms moving to our left. On the dribble is Blakesley at the left wing, looking to the top of the key. They go there on the pass to Renee Tessum. And now it goes to Munger. Munger has it at the right wing. 11 on the shot clock. Dribble drive to the deep in the corner. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Glacier Peak. So they're kind of running out of time here. If they keep knocking the ball out of bounds, Mercer Island will inbound it right in front of the Glacier Peak band across from us. Dribbling in, putting it up, forcing it up. Count the basket. I do believe they called the foul unless they say it was on the floor. Now the officials are going to say it's a block, and they're going to count it. Wow.
It was a great finish on the inside by Tessum. I was happy for Mercer Island that they were able to get the ball inside finally. They kept doing the pick and roll on the outside for about 3-4 passes in a row.
It'll be Fauci who picks up the foul. That's her first personal foul, the second team foul. The free throw is good. It's 9-6, 3-point lead. So completing the three-point play there. Glacier Peak with it. Here's a steal. It's going to be stolen away by Mercer Island. Bringing it up is Taylor Krause. Does not have numbers and then commits the travel, or it could have been a charge as well because she had 3 Glacier Peak players around her, and then she took it herself to the hoop and probably there's a chance to pull up and wait for your help that is on the way.
The numbers, unfortunately, weren't in her favor. If she could have done a pull-up jump shot, if nothing else, she would have had a good look at the basket.
So here's Glacier Peak with the ball, leading at 9-6, 2:06 to play in the first quarter. A lot of quick hands for both these teams. This time knocked out of bounds by Taylor Krause, so it'll be Glacier Peak basketball, 22 on the shot clock.
Both teams are really jumping into the passing lane. If they can look to go back door, they might get an avenue to the inside.
Left-hand side it goes. Natalie Rasmussen looking for the feed down low to Fauci, but it's intercepted by Mercer Island. Islanders out of backcourt. Bring it up with the right-hand dribble. That's Blakesley out between the circles. Remember, a college court here, 94 feet rather than the usual 84 that most high schools play with. Dribble drive along the baseline. No foul, but the ball was dribbled out of bounds. Surrey Johnson just kind of put her head down, put up her right elbow, and then just kind of bulldozed her way along the baseline and stepped out of bounds.
Rasmussen did a great job there cutting off the baseline. She didn't give her much room to maneuver on the underneath the basket.
So here's Glacier Peak with it. Out at the left wing, looking down low, still looking. They go across the top of the key. Kiana Garner now right side to Smith. Smith looking down low. Instead, will kick it back out on top for a three ball. Nothing but net for Natalie Rasmussen, and it's a double score and the biggest lead of the game. Glacier Peak leading at 12-6.
Really nice ball movement by Glacier Peak on that to find their shooter up on top of the key.
And she just absolutely buried it. One extra step, no call there. Lay-in is missed by Renee Tessum. And here comes Glacier Peak. Grizzlies out of backcourt, looking for some little early offense, but nicely back on transition is Mercer Island's defense. They work it left, now work it to the right-hand side. Dribbling in is Garner. She's going to be double-teamed, no help underneath. Finally, the ball is going to be stripped away from her. Now Fauci's down there. They've yet to blow a whistle. We've got a rugby scrum going on. Finally, the whistle sounds. I think they're going to go to the arrow for the held ball, and the possession arrow is going to favor the Islanders.
The Islanders have made a good defensive adjustment on the inside. They're really sagging in, double teaming on Fauci. With Fauci subbing out right now, it'll be interesting to see if they adjust their defense.
And now on the inbounds, it will be Mercer Island with it. We're inside of a minute to play, down to 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. Top of the key, that is Tessum. Goes in a little closer with a couple of dribbles. That won't go. Missed from about 3 feet away, but it's kept alive by Mercer Island. Taken down by Blakesley. Her shot is up, no good. Here's another shot attempt. This time it'll go through for Taylor Krause. Got the rebound off another miss by Mercer Island. Put it up and put it through. It's 12-8 with 20 seconds to play in the quarter. Over the right-hand side, nearly stolen away. Playing the part of Marcus Blake of Jackson last night today is Taylor Krause. Those slashing steals.
She's doing a great job getting in the passing lane. She's doing it with the right hand, too, which would help her stay out of foul trouble as the game goes.
10 seconds to go. Glacier Peak basketball. Shot clock is dead. Down to 6, down to 5. They work it right side to Mensing. Goes down to the baseline. Behind too far. Hit it off the side of the backboard. Put up is going to be no good off of the rebound by Kayla Collins. And our score at the end of the first quarter of action in the regional round of the 3A Girls State Basketball Tournament. It's the Glacier Peak Grizzlies 12. The Mercer Island Islanders 8. Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball on Fox Sports 1380. Thank you.
I knew she had a lot.
Jeannie, that'll be your stat when I give it to you.
Oh, the rebound one? Okay.
Glacier Peak 12, Mercer Island 8. Tom Lafferty along with Jeannie Boyer. Glad you're with us here on this Saturday night. And Glacier Peak sweeping the boards.
They are. Nicole Fauci is doing an excellent job. She had 8 rebounds to open the game up. 5 on the defensive side, 3 on the offensive board. And I think each of the 3 led to baskets for Glacier Peak, which helped build this 12-8 lead.
So we're getting set for the second quarter of action. Shooting in the first quarter for Glacier Peak, they were 5 of 13 from the field, 38%. 1 of 1 from beyond the arc and 1 of 2 at the line. Mercer Island, 4 of 12, 33% from outside, 0 of 2 from beyond the arc, and 0 and 1 at the free throw line. So not a lot of free throws here, and here we go. Second quarter of action underway, and it's Glacier Peak basketball in the alternating possession as they move it down the right-hand side, looking for a slashing player underneath, and this time another rugby scrum in the paint. 1, 2, 3, 4 purple shirts or dark maroon shirts for Mercer Island, and on the alternating possession goes right back to the Islanders.
Well, Taylor Krause there made another great defensive play. She's been in the passing lane that time. She defended the back door very well.
Munger brings it up, gives it off to Blakeslee. She dribbles in closer, then it's closed off there defensively. Kick it back out to the top of the key, and now they're working around to Tessum. Tessum has it, little spin move, turns around, puts it up from 10, no good. Surrounded by Grizzlies. It'll be taken down by Fauci, and here comes, taken down by Baird. And here comes Glacier Peak with it. Up the floor they go, over to the right-hand side. Working it is Garner, looking down low. Instead, we'll kick it back to the top of the key again. Dribble drive along the right-hand side to Rasmussen. And they're going to call, I'm guessing, an illegal screen of some sort. And they're going to call an illegal block here. It's going to be turned right back over to Mercer Island.
Well, they subbed Sarah Smith right back in, so hopefully her leadership at the point guard will help Glacier Peak get back into rhythm on offense.
It's going to be Rasmussen. Natalie Rasmussen picks up the foul, her second personal foul, third team foul. So Mercer Island basketball. Moving to our left and a pull-up jumper on the way up, and it is good for Rachel Tessum. Put it up and in from about 8 feet away, and what was a 6-point lead is now a 2-point lead at 12-10. So 4 unanswered here. Dribble along the right-hand side. No, closed off there. Smith had the door slammed in her face, and now they'll work it left side. Taylor Baird working it down low, and another foul away from the basketball. The ball was going inside, and now the official is going to call it away from the ball. Now, who's this going to be on? This is going to be, and they're going to call this one on Taylor Krause, the 5'11 sophomore for the Islanders. Commits the foul, her first personal foul, third team foul.
Glacier Peak lucked out on that one because that was an errant pass, but they did get the push in the back, which gave them the ball back out of bounds.
So a fresh shot clock and the basketball for Glacier Peak. Top of the key it goes. Samantha Fatkin into the ball game. Now going down with the left hand up and in. Taylor Baird gets it and breaks that little mini run by Mercer Island. With 6:25 to go in the first half, Glacier Peak leads at 14-10, and Mercer Island has the basketball. Out on top of the key as they work it, Renee Tessa, but here's a steal. A steal and going in, lay it is up, and it is good by Sarah Smith.
Well, that was the speed we were expecting to see from Sarah Smith defensively, and she helped break her team out to a 6-point lead.
Right back out to a 6-point lead, equaling their biggest lead of the contest. Now Mercer Island brings it down. Jamie Munger likes to bring it up. She went way over to the sideline, trying to use that kind of as a shield away from the defense. She has it back, Munger with it. Now dribble drive along the right side, going to the baseline, knocked over, no foul, and then a travel after the steal. As Taylor Krause got knocked down, there was no call there, but then picking up the basketball, the traveling call there, so it'll be given right back over to Mercer Island. For the Islanders, they have committed 6 turnovers, 7 for Glacier Peak. And it'll be Mercer Island basketball at the baseline. Fresh 30 on the shot clock, 5:45 to go. Looking, can't do it. If I can give you the time, the temperature, and the date, that means it's taken too long to get it in bounds. That's a 5-second inbounds violation.
Really good defense by Glacier Peak on that one. They had a couple switches to pick up the loose Mercer Island players to get that 5-second count.
Next was going to be longitude and latitude if they hadn't gotten it in. Here's a pull-up jumper on the way. Nice running jump shot up and good. Nicole Fauci, and it's an 8-point lead. Glacier Peak's biggest lead of the contest. Nicely moved there, and Fauci got the bucket, and it's Mercer Island basketball now down by 8. Top of the key, little hesitation there for Tessum. I thought maybe she was going to drag the pivot foot. Got to pass over to her sister, Renee. Rachel got it back. Now they dump it down low. Here's a turnaround hook shot. Too hard, no good. That one by Taylor Krause, missed it. And the rebound controlled again as Glacier Peak continues to sweep the boards. Down low, going in with the left hand again. Lane is up, and it's good. It's a 10-point lead. Taylor Baird with the bucket, and it's 20-10. I keep expecting Kayla Ewan to get up and call a timeout, has yet to do it. 4:50 to go in the first half. A 10-point lead. Here's a turnaround jumper, 3-ball left corner. That'll help if you're a Mercer Island Islander fan. Julia Blumenstein buries it from a 3-ball left corner.
Well, that might delay the timeout. They really, really needed that bucket in that moment.
Sarah Smith has it at the left wing. Looking down low, Baird has had the hot hand, but off of her knee and out of bounds. So turn it over. The turnover by Glacier Peak, and a couple of substitutions come onto the floor for the Islanders. Jessica Blakeslee checks back in.
Tessum did a really nice job of rotating. We've seen that from Mercer Island often during this first half. Their help side defense has been tremendous against Fauci and Baird on the inside.
Islanders coming in at 15-10, Sea King District number 4 out of the Kingco League. Glacier Peak at 22-2, Northwest District number 1 out of the Western Conference. Mercer Island with it, dribbling in, and then Brian Hill was doing some officiating himself. He put up both arms with his thumbs and said, "That's a jump ball." And the official says, "No, I think Miss Smith has gotten the foul on that one, and that's going to send Mercer Island to the free throw line." Sarah Smith, first personal, 4th team foul.
Sarah Smith was very close to getting her hands clean on that ball, but she had a little bit too much arm to get away with it.
First free throw is up and good for Jessica Blakesley, and she will get another. 4:11 to play, first half. The winner to the Tacoma Dome, the loser to softball practice. Track, tennis. Sorry, Joel. Tennis too. Okay, next free throw is no good. 20-14 the score. Bring it up across the timeline. Sarah Smith with it. They dump it down low, going in. No, short-armed it, no good for Taylor Baird. Rebound controlled by Mercer Island. Here come the Islanders out of backcourt. They don't really have the numbers. They're going to try it. A little early offense they do, and the bank lane is up and good for Rachel Tessum. Kind of trailing the play. They found her for the bucket, and it's again a 4-point lead now for Glacier Peak. A game of runs here as they got up by 10 earlier.
That was a really nice break by the trailer on that one with Tessum. She was able to get into the gap in the middle, and they hit her with a really nice pass in transition.
Turnaround jumper, no good for Mensing. Cleared out by Mercer Island. Islanders with it. Left side, Munger looked at the 3, didn't take it, goes a little closer. Tough luck shot with about a 10-footer for a 2, won't go. Quick early offense here up the right-hand side for Glacier Peak. Samantha Fatkin had the ball, and the shot is going to be missed. Controlled by Mercer Island. And then with it, Munger tried to hit it off the foot of Baird. That didn't work, so she had to go down to one knee to pick it up and retrieve it. Looked like a shortstop there. And it's going to be Glacier Peak basketball after all of that.
Really good trap by Glacier Peak, especially in the backcourt to keep transition offense from Mercer Island.
It's just inbounded here by Fatkin, goes over the right-hand side. Fauci at the baseline. Down low they go. A little turnaround jumper, no good by Mensing. Missed a couple there. Comes off the back of the rim and controlled by Mercer Island. Inside 3 minutes to play in the first half of action here at Everett Community College in the regionals. Down low they go. Little turnaround jumper on the way. Air ball, no good. Anna Luce. She turned around and maybe had something in her eye because she was nowhere near hitting the rim, and it's controlled by Glacier Peak. Grizzly basketball leading it by 4. They've led by 10 here just a couple of moments ago. Now down low to Baird. Ball knocked away from the Glacier Peak player there, but then retrieved by Mensing. She puts up a shot. She gets fouled, and she'll have to earn them at the free throw line. Sadie Mensing will be at the stripe.
They did a really nice job double-teaming Fauci on the inside, but unfortunately, they were not able to corral the pass, leading to Mensing getting these foul shots.
Luce picks up the foul, her first personal foul, the 4th team foul. Mensing, the leading scorer for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, although she hasn't played in the postseason, averaging 12.3 points per ball game. The first free throw will not go.
Well, she's a good player, so I imagine getting to the free throw line, if she can put this second free throw in, it could help her offense get back on track.
And it would give Glacier Peak a 5-point lead. It's airborne and no good. Missed them both. And the rebound controlled by Rachel Tessum of Mercer Island. Here come the Islanders bringing it up. Left-hand side. Blakesley looking down low. Looking away to anybody. Luce had it. Then the ball was knocked away from her. Luce retrieved her from going out of bounds. Back it goes to Blakesley. Now starts the left-hand dribble to the baseline. Stops and pops and put it up from 6 feet away. Pretty good defense there, as it was controlled by Sarah Smith off the rebound. Here's a 3 ball on the way. That's an air ball on the other end, too, as the air ball cast off there by Kiana Garner won't go. Ball goes out of bounds. Mercer Island basketball.
Tough shot by Garner on that one. She wasn't able to get her feet quite set before she launched the three-pointer. Fauci made a good attempt on the offensive rebound, but unfortunately for Glacier Peak, the miss was too wide to the right.
1 minute, 57 seconds to play in the first half, and Glacier Peak with a 20-16 lead. Coming up at halftime, we'll run down all the scores of games earlier today. From 4A to 1B, boys and girls, everything's going to be all done and set for state tournament action starting on Thursday. We'll have all those scores coming up at the half. Here's a step-through move, a couple of spins, a step-through, no good. Gets her own rebound up, no good. Julia Blumenstein had a couple of nice-looking shots, and neither one would go. Now Mensing with it at the right side. Check it. It was Fatkin who had the ball stolen away. Who wants the basketball? Mercer Island now going in. That's a nice step-through move there. Took it away from the defender. Blakesley lays it up and in for the Islanders.
Really nice defense by Mercer Island. Blakesley is their best finisher in transition. She was able to pull her team within 2 with that lay-in.
Minute 15 to play, first half, a 2-point lead. It was 10 points just a couple of minutes ago. Now it's 20-18, so an 8-point run here for Mercer Island. Looking down low, will they get a shot here? No, foul called. They got it right side to Sadie Mensing. She got hit going up for the shot, and they're going to get this one on Tessum. Renee Tessum with the foul, her first personal foul, 5th team foul, but fouled in the act of shooting, and Sadie Mensing goes to the stripe. Missed them both the last time, and so far she's 0 for 3.
Mercer Island had the same philosophy on defense. They were trying to double team in the low post, and unfortunately, Renee Tessum was just a hair too late, causing the foul on Mensing.
Minute 3 to play, first half. Glacier Peak with a 20-18 lead. Next one is airborne and is no good. 0 for 4 at the line so far. A little rusty here in the opening round of the regionals.
Very uncharacteristic for her, but she's continuing to battle and pound the ball inside.
Mercer Island with the basketball along the top of the key. Munger looking down. Instead he'll go cross court to Taylor Krause. Now the right wing to Blumenstein. Blumenstein on the dribble, looking to pass it under. The ball's going to be knocked away and out of bounds there. Nice defense there by Kiana Garner. Just put up a hand and said, not this time. And with 12 seconds on the shot clock, it'll be out of bounds for Mercer Island in front court. Along the side, they get it down. No one was there. Luce turned to pass it, and no one was there. So she kicked it back out for a 3-ball by Blumenstein. That one won't go. Grabbing the rebound, kind of grabbing the rebound is Kiana Garner. She kind of found it down in the legs of a couple of Mercer Island players, and it'll be Glacier Peak basketball. 24 on the game clock, 18 on the shot clock, so about 4 or 5 second differential. Has 14 now to shoot. Right-hand side, it goes to Smith. Smith goes cross-court to Fauzi, and deep in the left-hand corner, dribbling in. Fauzi will get it back. Back out to the top of the key again. Sarah Smith, 4 seconds to shoot. So there'll be a long cast-off. It's going to be an air ball, still yet to hit the rim, and that'll be a shot clock violation. Glacier Peak unable to get a shot off. Actually, they got a shot off, but it didn't hit the rim. With 4.7 seconds to go, Mercer Island will throw it in. Islanders will bring it in. Across the timeline, it comes to Jessica Blakesley. Down to 1 second. Shots on the way. If it goes, it'll count. It did not go. It was an air ball. And we have reached halftime in a game that Jeannie Boyer explained to me this game. It's just a game of just absolute streaks.
It is, and Mercer Island did a really nice job closing out the first half. They used their defense, collapsing in on the post and slowing down Nicole Fauci, which had given Glacier Peak the definite boost and advantage so far in this game.
Glacier Peak had a 12-8 lead at the end of the first quarter. Then after all of that, they have a 20-18 lead after the end of the second quarter. We are at halftime. Stay tuned for our halftime features. We'll run down the scores of other ball games and tell you who from Snohomish County is heading for the Tacoma Dome and other state tournaments. Our score at the half. It's Glacier Peak Grizzlies 20, the Mercer Island Islanders 18. This is Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380. puts it up, misses from 14 feet away. Rebound controlled by Glacier Peak. And here come the Grizzlies out of backcourt. Glacier Peak in their home white uniforms trimmed in silver and navy blue. Down low they go, off the window and in for Sadie Mensing. Had 2 points in the first half, has 4 points total now off that bucket here, first bucket of the second half.
Really nice pass to go up and over the top of the defense. The help side was a little slow on that one.
Stop, pop, up and in. Jessica Blakesley pulls up from about 10 feet away and pops it in for the Islanders and pulls them again to within 2 points at 22-20. Mercer Island has not had the lead in this ball game. We've had no ties save for 0-0. Down low they go. Pass goes into the hands of Jamie Munger. Problem is, that's the 10th turnover. Goes right in the hands of Mercer Island. Stop and pop again. This time right-hand side by Blumenstein. It won't go. Rebound controlled by Glacier Peak. Grizzlies with it. Bring it up to the left-hand side. As they do a nice couple of passes. Down low they go. Little turnaround swing shot up by Sawyer Manning. It won't go. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Mercer Island. It'll be Glacier Peak basketball with a fresh shot clock on the board. 6:42 to play in the third quarter and a 2-point lead.
Well, they missed Manning on that one. She had a wide open lane opportunity if they would have made that pass half second sooner.
They get it in now to Sadie Mensing, and she gets it and banks it up and in. It opens up a 4-point lead for Glacier Peak. They led by as many as 10 in the first quarter. Up the floor. Here we go. Go ahead.
Good shot there by Mensing. She did a nice job using the glass on that baseline inbounds play.
Down low goes to Tessum. Step-through move, 3 or 4 step-through moves, and put it up and in. Renee Tessum, the 6'1 senior, pulls again. Mercer Island to within 2 at 24-22. 6:12 to play in the third. As they work the perimeter, goes over the right-hand side. That's Sawyer Manning with it. It's closed off there. Back over to Fauci at the left wing. Down low, Taylor Baird puts it up. Too hard, no good. Rebound controlled by Blumenstein. Here comes Mercer Island. Islanders with it. Blumenstein brings it up with a right-handed dribble. Looking to feed it down low to Renee Tessum. She does. Likes that step-through move. This time it won't go. But the trash is picked up and put home by Jessica Blakesley. And for the first time tonight, we are tied. It's 24-24.
They're leading right now on Tessum on the inside, and that's an interesting play going against Fauci, who's much taller and stronger on the inside.
Dribble to the left-hand side. Mensing. Here's a turnaround jumper. It will go. Kind of a hook shot there for Nicole Fauci and gives Glacier Peak back the lead at 26-24.
These two post players are definitely battling right now.
Tessum down low, but now they kick it back out to the top of the key. Blumenstein with it. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Glacier Peak. So it'll still be Mercer Island basketball with 17 on the shot clock. They will throw it in from the right side. This is the third of 3 games here. Earlier, Linwood girls won, and they'll advance. LaConner won a little bit earlier as well. And here it's Glacier Peak and Mercer Island. Islanders with the basketball, down by 2. As they spin, move down, 5 seconds on the shot clock, put up with the left-hand shot. It's going to be up and no good by Blumenstein and controlled by Glacier Peak. Kind of a no-look Hail Mary pass goes into the hands of Baird. She got it, couldn't hit the lay-in. Jump ball called, Glacier Peak basketball.
So really nice up pass, up and over the defense. Unfortunately, Mercer Island missed a great opportunity to pick that pass off, but she put it right on a dime for a lay-in opportunity.
Yeah, it looked like a Russell Wilson pass right down in there and just dropped it in for the touchdown. If they didn't get the touchdown, it was knocked away by Richard Sherman. Down, here we go, Glacier Peak. Is this basketball or football? 23 seconds on the shot clock, and here's a 3 ball on the way, no good by Baird. Kept alive and grabbed down. Fauci has it, puts it up as Manning got the rebound. Fauci got the putback. It won't go. Controlled by Mercer Island up the floor. Munger stops and puts it up. Short arms it from about 10 feet away. Scrap for it on the floor. 2 Islanders and 1 Grizzly are on the deck, and it's going to be alternating possession, held ball, controlled here by Mercer Island. Islanders with it with a fresh 30 on the shot clock.
This game's getting pretty physical. I think that's our third jump ball in under 4 minutes of play here to start the third quarter.
4:23 to go in the third, a 26-24 lead for Glacier Peak. Looking to throw it in is Mercer Island. Top of the key, Munger. Out between the circles.
They're looking for another pick and roll opportunity up top, but they haven't been able to capitalize on that so far.
Give it off to Rachel Tessum, goes in, lays it up and misses it, no good, but the putback up and in. That's about 3 or 4 that Jessica Blakesley has been right there on the spot, and we're tied for the second time in this ball game. It's a 26-26 deadlock so far. Now here is Glacier Peak down low. Fauci gets it, lays it up and in. And you got to give a credit to the pass on the far side to Sadie Mensing. Found Fauci and then just dumped it into her. She gets a lay-in. She gets fouled. She'll get a three-point play opportunity.
That was one opportunity where Mercer Island was very late on the weak side. Up to this point, they'd been really solid with that help side, but in this instance, they were able to get that pass up and in for a lay-in.
Rachel Tessum with the foul. That's her second personal foul. First team foul of the second half. And the free throw is up, and it is good for Taylor Baird. The checking for Fauci, excuse me. It was Glacier Peak was 1 for 6 from the line in the first half. Dribble drive right-hand side. That's Rachel Tessum. Kicks it back out to the top of the key. They try to go a little give and go. Feed can't do it. Anna Luce can't control it. And it's been controlled this time by Glacier Peak. Grizzlies with the basketball. Out between the circles as they move it over to the left-hand side to Gianna Garner. Now deeper in the corner goes to Rasmussen. Now to the top of the key. Smith will direct traffic and dribble the basketball. They're going to try a little dump pass to the baseline to Mensing this time. It will not go. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Mercer Island. So with 11 on the shot clock, it'll be Glacier Peak basketball at the baseline underneath their own hoop.
Mercer Island just subbed back in Renee Tessum, and she was leading them to start this third quarter, so hopefully she can get Mercer Island back on track offensively.
Inbounds play goes right back to the thrower inner, but then to Mensing again, back out for 5 seconds of the shot clock. A three ball comes up short, no good. Right side by Rasmussen, the sophomore, controlled by Mercer Island. Islanders with it. They dump it down low, going in, falling down, missing the shot. No good is Taylor Krause. And the rebound is going to be controlled by Glacier Peak. Here come the Grizzlies. Back up the floor the other way they go. Down deep in the right-hand corner to Kiana Garner. Now up between the circles to the top of the key as they work it left side to Fauci. Fauci looks down low. Here's a little kind of a no-look pass. Trying to bank it off was Mensing. Missed it. And Islanders will control. 2:41 to play, third quarter. Mercer Island basketball down by 3, 29-26 to Glacier Peak. Looking down low, they go left-hand side. Munger puts it up too hard off the side of the backboard, no good. Cleared out by Glacier Peak. Grizzly basketball. Up the floor to the right-hand side. That's Mensing to the baseline, a little too far under, and her pass is errant, and it goes into the hands of Mercer Island. Here's Islander basketball. It's like neither team wants it.
They can't seem to capitalize on these opportunities right now.
Here's a double step-through move, and that's not going to work this time. Renee Tessum's done that a couple of times, and this time she's going to be caught for it. And it'll be a substitute here for Mercer Island. Suri Johnson checks back in. And for Glacier Peak, Samantha Fatkin will check in. And Sarah Smith goes to the bench for the Grizzlies.
Well, this will be an opportunity for Jess Blakesley to take over offensively with Sarah Smith on the bench.
Glacier Peak ball as they bring it up. 2:05 to play, third quarter, and a three-point lead. Right-hand wing, Kiana Garner. Now left side to Fatkin. Fatkin ball high overhead, looking down low. Turnaround jumper, a three. Rims off, no good. That was a miss there by Natalie Rasmussen, and it's Mercer Island basketball. They bring it up.
Glacier Peak set that one up really well. They had Rasmussen coming off a screen, the screener up at the top, but she wasn't able to capitalize on the opportunity.
Using a screen there is Blakesley, but then it gets rid of the basketball, and then the person she gave it to gets rid of it, but it goes into the hands of Glacier Peak off the turnover. Grizzlies with it down low, swatted out of bounds by Taylor Krause. So it'll still be Glacier Peak basketball. It's just that they'll inbound it under the hoop with 24 seconds on the shot clock. Looking to throw it in at the baseline. Still looking. Finally, nice play, but they can't get it. It's going to be missed there by Mensing, but controlled by Fauci. Back out for a reload and a three ball. Too long, no good by Garner. And a putback up and in for Fauci.
Well, Fauci has 5 offensive rebounds right now to go along with her many buckets on the inside.
She's got 15 points. There's another, boy, I thought it looked like travel there. Instead, it's a kick-out pass at the top of the key for a 2 by Ariana Moscatel. There's a famous Mercer Island name. Moscatel, playing many, many years ago. I'm guessing dads and uncles all played for Ed Peppel for Mercer Island. Dan Moscatel, 31-28, looking for a pass down low, going in, laying up good.
Very good court awareness there by Fauci. She pivoted up at the top of the key and was able to hit Mensing for a lay-in.
Mensing with the bucket. It's a 5-point lead for Glacier Peak at 33-28. About a 10-second differential from the shot and game clocks. 18 to shoot here from Mercer Island. Nearly losing the handle there was Renee Tessum. To the top of the key for a 3-ball. It's going to be no good. That one taken by Blakesley. And then a re-steal as Glacier Peak was trying to head it up the floor. Instead, they got into the corner to Jessica Blakesley, who buries a 2-ball from about 16 feet away left baseline. And it's a 3-point lead for the Grizzlies, 33-30. 7 seconds to go. Into front court they go. Dribbling in, a little step-through move. Went around the defender was Fatkin. She goes to the deck. The ball goes out of bounds. It was last touched by Mercer Island, and with 3.1 seconds to go, it'll be Glacier Peak basketball looking for an inbound and a shoot. At the baseline, looking, they do, inbound, and a shot, and a banker. It's up, and it is good for Kiana Garner. Played to perfection.
That was beautiful execution, especially to end the quarter to give Glacier Peak the 5-point lead going into the fourth.
We'll go to the fourth. The Grizzlies 35, the Islanders 30. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380. Yes. Oh, is it snowing in Chicago? Oh. I'm Tom Lafferty along with Jeannie Boyer. Glad you're with us here as we wrap up the regional round of basketball. We'll have all the scores one more time coming for you in the post-game show, and we'll talk with our player of the game and kind of take a look ahead at the state tournament, which happens next week with the 3A and the 4A boys and girls happening in the Tacoma Dome, and then the 2A and 1A boys and girls happening at the Yakima Sun Dome, and the 1B and 2B boys and girls happening over at the Spokane Coliseum or Spokane Arena. You know, and if somebody hasn't been to a state tournament, they got to go. You got to go and spend at least. There's always a place you can sit and watch 2 games going on at the same time.
Well, if you're a basketball fan, it is high school March Madness. You absolutely love it. You're guaranteed to see some buzzer beaters and some great games down in the Dome.
Here's a backdoor lob feed to the Candy Sue, and she's the third cheerleader in from the left-hand side for Glacier Peak because there was no Grizzly there.
Well, they have scouted that very well because that's one of Coach Hill's favorite plays that he's run for years now, and Mercer Island was able to bump the cutter up at the top of the key to steal that lay-in away.
I don't really know if her name is Candy Sue, but I just thought
I liked it, though, Tom. It was nice.
Mercer Island basketball down by 5, looking to feed it down low, but it's intercepted. Grabbed by Taylor Baird. Outlet pass up the floor, going in. Scoop play and up, and it's good. Nicely done there off the steal, and then the bucket by Fatkin, and it's 37-30. So what was a tie ball game backed out to a 7-point lead. Glacier Peak is led by as many as 10 in the game.
Another run there. We are seeing these throughout this ball game. Now Glacier Peak is on a 7-0 run to open up this fourth quarter.
Dribble drive to the baseline, closed off there. Here's a shot up, rattles, and it drops through there for Rachel Tessum. Tessum with the bucket, and it's a 5-point lead as we're a minute in to the fourth and final quarter. Last quarter of play for one of these two teams for the year, and one of them's advancing and playing on Thursday down in the Tacoma Dome. And that'll be on Thursday morning. Here's a turnaround 3-ball on the way. No good. A little early in the clock to be shooting that, I would think. Natalie Rasmussen with the miss, and it's 37-32. But Rasmussen unafraid to shoot. And so is, on the other end, Julia Blumenstein. She's hit a few, didn't hit that one. Going in this time, laying up too hard, glass, and that's all there for Fatkin. And the rebound controlled by Mercer Island. We're playing tennis here. Up the floor they go. Neither team can score it. Kind of out of control there was Suri Johnson, and she's going to go to the free throw line after kind of bowling over a Glacier Peak Grizzly, but the Grizzlies called for the foul. They're going to get Gustafson, her first personal foul and the first team foul.
Well, Johnson definitely got bailed out there at the end because she was out of control and was able to bowl over the Glacier Peak player as she drove to the basket.
Rasmussen, I said Gustafson, but it's one of those Norwegian type names. So the free throw up and good. The second one is good. So it's a 37-34 lead. 6:25 to play in the fourth quarter. Still anybody's ball game. Lots of basketball to play. Here comes Glacier Peak with it, leading by 3. They swing it over the right-hand side. A little spin move there as they now go cross-court near side to Rasmussen. In the corner now to Fatkin. Fatkin looking across the top of the key on the dribble. Goes over for a three ball on the way. Short, no good by Garner. Rebound controlled by Mercer Island. And here comes, the foul's going to be called. Trying to dribble it out of trouble there was Jessica Blakesley. And really more trying to get out of the way was Taylor Baird, but she got in the way and tripped her up and committed the foul. And for Baird, that is her first personal foul and the second team foul of the half here against Glacier Peak.
Well, Blakesley's literally doing it all right now for Mercer Island, just as Coach Chin in the pregame predicted that she would.
So team fouls, 2 for Glacier Peak, 1 for Mercer Island. It's like the officials already worked a game here today, and they decided we're not going to call any fouls in this ball game.
They're letting them play, that's for sure, Tom.
Here is an interception by Glacier Peak. So Grizzly basketball leading by 3. Swinging past the left-hand side, Garner. Garner looking down, going in, laying up. Baird missed the lay-in, no good. Kept alive by Glacier Peak, but grabbed by Mercer Island. Islanders out of backcourt. Blakesley will bring it up. Goes over the right-hand side as a little turnaround jumper up, no good by Rachel Tessum, and it's going to be controlled by Glacier Peak again. Grizzlies with it, trying to get some early offense, can't do it. Ball's going to be kicked and then knocked out of bounds by Julia Blumenstein, so it will still be Glacier Peak ball in front court with 25 on the shot clock.
Mercer Island's looking a little gassed right now. This pace is definitely not going to favor them if they continue in the fourth quarter to try to play up tempo with Glacier Peak.
Ball will be kicked on the inbounds by Surrey Johnson, so what that does is reset the shot clock to 30, and Glacier Peak will still inbound it from exactly the same spot just to the left of the hoop. Neither team has called a timeout yet in this ball game. Out on top of the key now on the inbounds. Dribble drive right-hand side. Going in is Fatkin. Puts it up. Hit to the floor. Blocking foul called. 2 shots coming up here for Samantha Fatkin.
It's a really good drive in attacking the basket. On that one, there's no way a call couldn't be made as she got hammered to the floor.
Taylor Krause picks up the foul. Her second personal foul, second team foul, and free throws here for Fatkin. First one is on the way, and it is good. Now, Fauci will check back in, as will Sarah Smith for the Grizzlies. Brian Hill making some subs. Neither Kayla Ewan or Brian Hill have called a timeout in this ball game. They've been substituting liberally as well.
We'll see if the timeouts come into play later as Coach Yoon in particular tries to keep his girls fresh as this game winds down.
Sometimes you just want to do that, don't you? We just got to refill the tank, recharge the batteries here for a second.
Well, Blakesley's doing a good job, but she's seeming tired. She's trying to do everything right now for her team to keep them in this ball game.
This time it's going to be stolen away from her, but then stolen right back by Surrey Johnson. Here's Blakesley. He's going to have the ball stolen right back. Actually, it's going to be a tie-up on the floor, and on the alternating possession, it'll still be Mercer Island basketball. As it was Blakesley, had it stolen away and then tried to get it. Now she looks over at the bench area and kind of raises both hands like, I got to get some help out here. She goes in, running jumper. Doesn't mean much help because she goes around 3 defenders and puts it up with the right hand and just kind of pops it in and pulls Mercer Island to within 3 points again.
Well, she's a gutty performer, that's for sure. Even though she looks gassed right now, she is not quitting. Is trying to will her team to a win.
Feeding it down low, putting it up too hard, no good is Mensing. Then she runs over. She runs over Surrey Johnson as Mensing was trying to go get her own miss. And then I think turned around and didn't see Johnson in front of her. So she's going to be called for the foul, her first personal foul, third team foul. Blakesley, who is the 11th leading scorer in the Kinko 3A, 11.3 points per ball game.
Right now, Blakesley's leading her team in rebounds. She has 9 total rebounds right now, which is very impressive coming from the point guard position.
So inbounds here for Mercer Island. She's got 8 points in the ball game. And here comes Mercer Island. Islanders with it. Left side. Here's a 3 ball. Rattles and goes. Taylor Krause felt the urge and just put it up and put it in and ties this ball game for the 3rd time in the evening. We're at 39-39.
Well, she saw Fauci step back on defense trying to play her for her speed, and she was able to drill that 3-pointer home.
Taylor Baird puts it up, misses, no good. Fauci grabs the rebound. And now Baird gets it back with her step-through move. No travel. It's going to be a foul called. Nicely done there for Taylor Baird. Went around the defender, scooped it up, put it in, and will go to the free throw line. with a 3-point play here, and the foul is going to be on Taylor Krause, her third personal foul, and the third team foul of the half against Mercer Island.
Well, that was an experienced player showing excellent footwork, strong finish on the inside to give her team the lead back.
And extends the lead to 3 points with a 3-point play. The free throw is good. Now Jamie Munger will bring it up for the Islanders. Likes to go to the left corner. She does. To the top of the key again to Krause, looking down low. Turn around and off the window and in. Jessica Blakesley's right there. She's got 10 points in the ball game. This one off the window and in, and it's a 1-point lead for Glacier Peak. 3.5 minutes to play in regulation time. Already the Arlington girls won in overtime down south in the regionals. Going in, laying up, and good for Sadie Mensing. Kind of found the defense napping there.
Yeah, it was definitely a defensive breakdown. The help side was nowhere near the key, and it looks like that forced Coach Yoon to call his first timeout.
Yeah, he'll just kind of recharge the batteries over on the sideline. With 3 minutes and 16 seconds to play in regulation time, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies lead at 44-41. Snohomish County, Western Conference Basketball, Fox Sports 1380. He'll do it. Say it again, Brandon. Okay. I'm not in any. We're not hurry. We're not in a hurry for the stats either, so you can do those when you get back. But just want to make sure that. Yeah. Back to action. Mercer Island with the basketball, down by 3 to the Glacier Peak Grizzlies of the Western Conference. Kind of wanting to shoot it was Blumenstein, didn't do it. 7 to shoot now. They feed it left-hand side, going in, stepping through and putting it off the glass and in. Again, Jessica Blakesley, she's got 19 points in this ball game, and it's a 1-point lead for Glacier Peak.
That was an impressive move, able to split the double team to go up and off the glass again.
Fauci tries to force it down low to Sadie Mensing, 15th turnover of the ball game for Glacier Peak, and the Islanders with a chance to take the lead with a scoop lay-in. That's up, no good. The putback is going to be no good, and foul is going to be called. The first shot was missed by Taylor Krause. Blakesley grabbed the rebound. She tried to put it back up. She got fouled, and with 2 free throws here, could give Mercer Island their first lead of the ball game. Fauci with the foul, her second personal foul, 4th team foul.
Well, Blakesley, again, that rebound puts her at a double-double tonight with 20 points on the night, 10 rebounds, 4 on the offensive glass alone.
So the first free throw will tie the score at 44. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to play. Next one for Blakesley. It's good. First lead change of this ball game. Mercer Island leads it by 1 point. 45-44, don't you dare go away. We're live at Everett Community College in the regionals. Feeding over the right-hand side. That's Samantha Fatkin. Looked inside. Good, tough defense here by Mercer Island, keeping Glacier Peak out at the perimeter. Sarah Smith, now top of the key, it goes to Baird. Baird feeds it right side again to Mensing. Down to 8 on the shot clock. Little step through move. They found the open receiver right there for Taylor Baird to lay it up, and it is good. That will give Glacier Peak back the lead, and will send us to commercial after a full timeout is called by the Glacier Peak Grizzlies with 1 minute, 58 seconds to play in regulation time. It's the Grizzlies 46, the Islanders 45. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball on Fox Sports 1380.
gets the opportunities to make the baskets and make the stops when it matters.
And it's only a couple of extra steps here and there, right?
It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. A few missed travels here and there, but in the big scheme of the game, the refs are doing a really good job controlling the tempo, and they've been consistent throughout the ballgame.
So a minute 58 to play. We're in the fourth quarter. Glacier Peak with a 1-point lead. Mercer Island with the basketball, and a trip to the Tacoma Dome, and the final 8 is on the line. Here they come. Munger with it. Goes left-hand side to Blakesley for the Islanders. Now back to the basket is Tessum. Feed it over the right-hand side. Stop and pop from 8 feet away. Julia Blumenstein puts it up and in. And right back to a Mercer Island lead at 47-46.
Glacier Peak tripled the high post on that, which was surprising. They haven't done that all night.
Sarah Smith, top of the key, swings the pass over the right-hand side. That's Samantha Fatkin with it. Now on top of the key, it goes to Baird. Baird left-hand side to Smith. Smith feed it down low. Baird has the ball knocked out of bounds. Checked from behind. She thought she got fouled. The ball sailed out of bounds, and it'll still be Glacier Peak basketball with 14 seconds on the shot clock.
Glacier Peak's going for the pick and rolls on the outside, and so far Mercer Island's responding defensively.
Out on top of the key, Sarah Smith with it. Down to 8 seconds to shoot. They'll feed it down low for a little backdoor lob feed inside, up, and it is good. And it's a 48-47 lead as Mensing got it. Now here comes Mercer Island again. To the top of the key it goes. Dribbling in, laying up, no good, a miss. Miss there by Taylor Krause. Controlled by Glacier Peak. Timeout called by Mercer Island. No, excuse me, by Glacier Peak as they were bringing it up the floor. It'll be a 30-second timeout. We will step aside. 57 seconds to play in the game. Glacier Peak 48, Mercer Island 47. Snohomish County Western Conference Basketball, Fox Sports 1380. I missed so many spots in the first half. I got to
make up for lost time.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you looking for? It's right. It's 56.9 seconds to play in the basketball game. Regulation time. It's a 1-point lead for Glacier Peak. And the Grizzlies will throw it in, still in backcourt. Full court pressure. All 10 players to the right-hand side of the half-court stripe. Here they come, out of backcourt. 20 on the shot clock. To the top of the key, Fatkin. Fatkin still on the dribble. Now goes to Baird. Baird looking down low, starts to dribble, dumping it down low for Fauci. Knocked away from her. A put-up is going to be no good. Foul called. Fauci goes to the deck. Fatkin couldn't control it off the miss by Fauci. And now Fauci goes to the free throw line with 37 seconds to go in regulation time and a 1-point lead for Glacier Peak.
Well, right now, Mercer Island's team fouls could cause some problems for them. They're only at 4 team fouls with 37 seconds left. So if they have to foul to put Glacier Peak to the free throw line to end this game, they're going to have to give a couple up and burn some clock time.
Julia Blumenstein picks up the foul, her first personal foul. 4th team foul, first free throw, no good for Nicole Fauci. It's a 1-point lead for Glacier Peak. 37 seconds to go. Next one by Fauci on the way, good. 2-point lead now, and a timeout called. Timeout called here by the Mercer Island Islanders. We told you they'd be using them up here, and we're going to keep it right here during this timeout with 37 seconds to go. 49-47 lead for Glacier Peak. Okay, if you're the Mercer Island Islanders, who are you looking for?
Well, you obviously want to give Jess Blakesley the ball, but I would expect them to maybe pound the ball inside to one of the Tessum sisters and then look to hit Blakesley on a cut. They've been doing that off and on throughout this game, and it's been very effective for them.
Okay, now set up the defense for Glacier Peak.
Well, you want to burn some clock, so I would definitely put pressure on Blakesley in the backcourt. She's tired. See if you can force a turnover, her to fumble the ball up top. But you definitely don't want to necessarily foul, but you have fouls to give at this point as well. So you could give up 2 team fouls without putting them to the free throw line.
Yeah, the team fouls are all even up at 4 apiece, so nobody's going to the line for a couple of more.
Right. Glacier Peak can afford to be very aggressive right here for 2 more team fouls worth and potentially get a steal to try to end this ball game.
Now, as a coach, are there times when you'd get to this point, you'd look up and go, we only have 4 fouls? We got to hack at them 3 times before we even can try to get the ball back.
Well, for Mercer Island, definitely. You're going to tell your kids, if you happen to miss on this possession, to be very aggressive defensively. Try for a steal within first 2-3 seconds and then foul them right away.
So 30 on the shot clock, 37 on the game clock, 2-point lead for Glacier Peak. Mercer Island basketball. Here we go. They'll bring it up out of backcourt. That's Tessum. Feeding it right-hand side, looking down low is Blakesley. 21 to shoot. Blakesley has it, trying to find some space, can't do it. Munger has the top of the key. Now going down to one knee is Munger. No travel called and a timeout called by Mercer Island. We will take a break here with 20.3 seconds to go. Glacier Peak 49, Mercer Island 47. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball, Fox Sports 1380.
She has 14 rebounds, so. Yeah. Oh, you did.
Inbound it. Lots of basketball to play, still with 20 seconds to go. Inbounds it goes to Tessum. Back out on top of the key it goes again to Blumenstein. 9 to shoot. Blumenstein puts up with the right hand and banks it in. Off balance and banks it in. And a timeout called by Glacier Peak.
That was an incredible shot. I mean,
How did that go in?
She was off balance, falling to her left as a right-handed player. That's a nearly impossible shot, and she was able to bank it in off the glass. It was incredible.
Yeah, she was coming up the left-hand side of the key, so the basket's kind of over her right shoulder.
Oh, she had to definitely compensate for her momentum going completely away from the basket over a defensive player. Great shot. Now you have an opportunity for Mercer Island. They can be aggressive defensively with 2 team fouls to give as well.
So we have been tied 4 times here in just about the last 3 minutes or so, and 4 lead changes. Glacier Peak had a 10-point lead in the second quarter. That evaporated fairly quickly in the third and early part of this fourth quarter, especially the early part of this fourth quarter.
Yep.
Glacier Peak has only scored 14 points in the quarter to 19 points for Mercer Island.
Mercer Island has definitely not given up, and so far Glacier Peak has showed some composure, so we'll see what their willpower is at the end of this ball game.
So Glacier Peak with 11.3 seconds to go, looking for the inbounds, and here we go. From the baseline, they got to go the length of the floor in a 49-49 tie. Up the floor they come, stop at the top of the key. Dump it right-hand side to Fauci. Puts up with the right hand, short, no good. Rebound controlled by Mercer Island. Down to 1 second. We are going to go, what do we got? Coming down to call a timeout was Kayla Ewan on the other side of the half-court stripe to call a timeout. And I'm not sure. They stopped play. There's 0.1 second to go.
I was going to say, I think he's wanting either more time left on the clock or to not charge him for that timeout. He'd love to be able to take that into overtime, but I'm not sure how the officials are going to handle this situation.
They're going to say timeout with 0.1 second to go. You know, he came down just to call a timeout. Wow, can you come on that? To me, you tee him up. What are you doing over here?
Well, it's hard because obviously he's trying to yell to the officials. They can't hear him with the crowd noise. But yeah, I mean, he was past half court. His coach's box was definitely extended for this state playoff game on that particular play.
And he is still out having a chat with the official. They say, look, you came out and you called timeout, and now the assistant coach will come back and just say, come back to the 5 and dime Jimmy Dean. That's an old movie. Well,
right now, Mercer Island just needs to get the ball in bounds. 0.1 on the clock. You can't even tip the ball in this instance. There's no alley-oop dunk play in 4A girls basketball. So work your way towards overtime and see what your team can do.
But don't commit a foul.
Well, right now they can. With 14 fouls each, there's no free throws. I mean, this game's going to overtime one way or the other.
So it'll be out of bounds here for Mercer Island right in front of the Glacier Peak bench. Fauci is right on the ball. And it'll be inbounded here. So Mercer Island with 0.1 second to go. So you need only throw it in, and we're going to be going to overtime. We will. Overtime is coming up. We will take a break 1 minute break and overtime coming up. 49-49, end of regulation. Snohomish County Western Conference basketball, Fox Sports 1380. I think you did too. Yeah.
I was going to say, buddy, Joel has his hands full up here. He said he hasn't had to think this much in a long time.
And you really don't have to. There's plenty of time at the end to go down and get her. Yeah. Yes, you can. The Glacier Peak Grizzlies girls join Jackson and Stanwood boys, Linwood and Arlington's girls on the way south to the Tacoma Dome starting on Thursday. Well, we're going to know maybe in 4 minutes. We're in overtime. A 49-49 tie, Glacier Peak and Mercer Island. In that quarter, Mercer Island a 19-14 advantage point-wise. 49-49, the ball is in the air. We jump it up again. It's going to be controlled by Mercer Island. Islanders with it. Blumenstein and has the ball stripped away from her from behind, and then a jump ball called, and it will be Glacier Peak basketball on the jump ball.
Really heady play there by Sarah Smith to be able to come up from behind, tap the ball away to get the ball back for Glacier Peak to start this overtime period.
So Grizzlies will bring it up, tied at 49. They had a 10-point lead in the second quarter and squandered that away. Here's a steal. Bad pass, picked off. Blakesley with it. Brings it up the left-hand side. Bounce pass going in, laying up and good. Up
Great
and good
play,
for
great
Julia
play.
Blumenstein.
That sophomore is so impressive right now. She's definitely stepped her game up to try to lead her team to victory here tonight.
So now Glacier Peak with it. After the bad pass on the last possession, this is going to be a dump-in pass. Not very smart maybe there, but it was going to be saved there by Baird. Baird has it long, cross-court pass, as Glacier Peak is just daring him to shoot from outside. Mercer Island daring Glacier Peak to shoot from outside. They'll get it down to Fauci. It goes out of bounds. Last touch by Renee Tessum of Mercer Island. It'll be Glacier Peak basketball with 6 on the shot clock.
Glacier Peak got lucky on that one. I thought Fauci actually had the ball go off of her to go out of bounds.
I did too. Looking to throw it in. Still nobody to throw to. Still hasn't done it. Finally they do. And a timeout called by Glacier Peak. Wow.
Well, hopefully this timeout will help Glacier Peak regroup a little bit. They seem a little shook after they blew that 10-point lead. They battled through to get it to overtime still, but this is going to be a pressure situation for them.
So Brian Hill, it's a 30-second timeout, so they're all standing out on the floor and just kind of looking at him saying, you know what to do. Or is there a time when they come over to you, they look at you like, we have no idea how basketball works.
Well, right now,
what are the rules?
Even with your senior leadership right now, he's reassuring him in the huddle, you're okay, you guys have been here, you've done this, you can win this ball game, let's get this play done right now.
So here we go. Glacier Peak both these teams also went to the Tacoma Dome last year. Inbounds now, down to 1 second to go, they'll shoot, it'll hit the top of the backboard. They weren't aware of the shot clock situation. And so it'll be Mercer Island basketball. They lead it by 2, 51-49. We're 1 minute into the overtime period. Biggest lead of the game, 2 points. Over to the right-hand side. Looking down low is Blumenstein. Now starts to dribble, 16 to shoot. In no hurry here. Looked like a travel, no call. Back out to Blumenstein for 3. It's good for Julia Blumenstein. Buried it and makes it a 5-point lead. That is the biggest lead of the game for Mercer Island.
Two huge baskets by her, Tom. She hit the 2-pointer to tie it, and then also this bucket here to give them the 3-point lead, 5-point lead. 2.5
minutes to play in overtime. Here we go down. Fauci, too hard, no good. Baird had it right side. She went up too hard, and it's no good. She'll go to the free throw line. Foul called. Fouled in the act of shooting. Glacier Peak is at the line for Taylor Baird. Renee Tessum picks up the foul, her second personal foul, 5th team foul.
Really nice job by Glacier Peak there to get the ball back inside, try to get themselves back to the free throw line to score with the clock stopped at this point.
First free throw is no good. Second one in the hands of Baird on the way, and it's good. 4-point lead for the Islanders, 54-50. Somebody's going to the Tacoma Dome. Here's a shot. 3 on the way. Too hard, no good by Jamie Munger. Put back up. It's going to be no good, but still kept alive by Mercer Island. Jump ball called, Mercer Island basketball.
Well, shockingly, Jess Blakesley, again, under the basket.
Yep.
Corralling the offensive rebound to get retained possession for her team.
Not sure Munger's shot was the one that coach was looking for there because she just cast it off early in the shot clock. Taylor Krause with it. Little spin move. Went around 3 defenders, put it up and in, and Mercer Island has opened up a 6-point lead over Glacier Peak. They've come alive in the second half. After we had called them dead because they were so tired.
Well, they were, and just gutty play, and Glacier Peak desperately needs a basket here to keep themselves in this ball game.
Fauci, right corner, back on top of the key, using a lot of time. We're inside 2 minutes to play in overtime. A 6-point deficit facing Glacier Peak. Here's a shot on the way. Baird missed, no good. Battle for the rebound, kept alive by Fauci, and then controlled by Mensing. No time there to go out and reset the offense. Minute 35 to go, 25 to shoot, down by 6. They're using a lot of clock here. Right-hand side, here's Baird, just step through move, foul called. 2 shots coming up there. Wow, Glacier Peak using a lot of time.
A lot of clock, and in this instance, Baird did the right thing. She took the ball hard to the basket. Now they need to capitalize with these free throws again with the clock stopped.
Julia Blumenstein picks up the foul, her second personal foul, 6th team foul. So bonus the rest of the way here for Glacier Peak, but it may not matter. First free throw is good. Closes the deficit to 5 points at 51-56, a minute 27 to go. We are in overtime. It was 49-49 at the end of regulation time. Next one, good. So she hit them both. The lead is 4 for Mercer Island. Baird goes to the bench, and Paisley Johnson.
Well, Glacier Peak is subbing for defense right now. They're getting their fast kids out on the floor. They subbed out both post players to try to get a stop here.
And they'll have to. They only have 4 team fouls. Looking for a steal. No call on the fouls yet. So dribbling it out of backcourt. Somebody's got to tackle somebody. Up the floor they go. Laying up. Never got fouled. Taylor Krause just looked like Ted Ligety going up through the slalom and laid it up and in. It's a 6-point ball game. Here's a 3 on the way. Long cast. It's going to be no good from the right side.
Well, that was an impressive drive by there by Krause. She went coast to coast, weaving in and out of defenders.
And nobody grabbed her to get a foul.
Yeah, and they need to stop the clock right now and get them to the free throw line.
Yeah, Rasmussen missed that 3 ball that went out of bounds. It's Mercer Island ball. 1:01 to play. Looking on the inbounds. It's going to be stolen here by Glacier Peak. Feed it inside. No fouls called. Bodies on the floor. 3-pointer. Good! Good for Natalie Rasmussen. And a foul called. It's going to be baseline out of bounds for Glacier Peak.
Wow, that is a tide turner right there.
Wow.
There was a scrum earlier where Mercer Island looked as if they should have been fouled, and there was a no call. Ball gets kicked onto Rasmussen, who buries that 3-pointer.
So Blumenstein, I thought they're going to go 1-1. Oh, it will be. It'll be 1-1. So the 3 ball counts. That went through to pull them to within 3. Rasmussen will be at the it shouldn't be Rasmussen is what we're hearing, but Blumenstein picked up the foul, her 3rd personal foul, 7th team foul. Free throw is going to be missed by Rasmussen, controlled by Glacier Peak again with 50 seconds to go, down by 3 points. Here's a cast-off 3, air ball. This time it won't go for Rasmussen, but they reload again. Back out to Rasmussen. Will she shoot again? No, she dribbles in, goes in, scoop lay-in, too hard, no good. Rebound grabbed by Tessum, and a foul is going to be called here. Unbelievable.
That was a very crazy sequence of events. Very wild. Very wild.
So they're going to call a foul on the Kiana Garner, or 3-2 maybe. Paisley Johnson, 2-3. No, it will be Garner. Her first personal foul, 5th team foul, out of bounds for Mercer Island. 35 seconds to play, and a 3-point deficit facing Glacier Peak. Mercer Island basketball, foul on the inbounds.
Well, Glacier Peak still has to foul one more time to put Mercer Island to the free throw line to try to change possession.
Rasmussen picks up her 4th personal foul, which is tough because she's their best three-point shooter. Looking to inbound at Mercer Island. They do. Foul called immediately on the inbounds. The foul is going to be on Kiana Garner. And that will finally put them into the bonus. And so we'll march to the other end. And Mercer Island has got free throws coming up here as Garner picks up the foul, her second personal foul. That's a 7th team foul. And free throw here for Renee Tessum of the Mercer Island Islanders.
Well, Glacier Peak sub back in both Fauci and Baird to try to secure this rebound should Renee Tessum missed the front end of the one-on-one.
58-55 Islanders. 33 seconds to go in overtime. Free throw on the way for Renee Tessum is good. She'll get another on the 1-and-1. 2-possession ball game now. 59-55. And the next one on the way for Tessum. It's up and it's no good. And the rebound's going to be controlled by Fauci. Here comes Glacier Peak, down by 4. Inside 30 seconds to play. Dribble drive, right-hand side. Going in, little step-through move. Put it up off the window. It's going to be up, no good by Mensing. Battle for the rebound. It's going to be won by Mercer Island's Renee Tessum. She gets fouled in backcourt and will go to the free throw line again on the other end of the floor, but down to 20 seconds to go and a 4-point lead for Mercer Island. This game really took a strange turn with about 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
Oh, it did. You know, Mercer Island was relentless and led by a sophomore point guard to battle back against a very experienced and talented Glacier Peak team.
And we mentioned both these teams went to the state tournament a year ago. Neither one placed. Both went 0-2, but they wanted that return trip to try to do a little more damage. Free throw up, no good by Tessum. Kept alive by Glacier Peak, down to 17, down to 16 seconds to go. They've got to hurry. Down to 14 seconds. Goes over the left-hand side. Rasmussen cast for 3. Partially blocked there. It's going to be a Mercer Island win, as was partially blocked off the cast-off by Blakesley. And then a foul called with 9 seconds to go. And again, we go to the other end off a free throws coming up here. The foul on Sarah Smith, her second personal foul, and the 9th team foul. So going to the free throw line will be Taylor Krause.
Yeah, this game definitely took a turn. I think Glacier Peak's going to be thinking back to this one for a long time, wondering what in the heck went wrong. We were in control the entire game, and Mercer Island just never gave up.
Free throw, no good. Down to 8, down to 7. They bring it up into front court. Down to 4, down to 5. 3 on the way. Won't go this time. That one taken by Sarah Smith, and the horn sounds, and the ball game is over. And in what has to be an upset, the number 2 ranked team in the state of Washington, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, lose it by the final score of 59-55. Mercer Island came in unranked, the number 4 team out of the